Today's game is being brought to you by Trans-South. We are proud to lend to you. And Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And Mazda, and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. Donald Igwebuike to start the second half. Powers one deep into the end zone. McGill puts the knee down, and Wake Forest will take over from the 20. The Spirit Generators there. Clemson cheerleaders backed up by, looked like a Demon Deacon. Wake Forest from the 20-yard line, trying to get back into this ball game after a 27-7 halftime score. First set running backs, Ramseur and Clemens. It's Clemens, the fullback, on the carry. Powers his way for a 7-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage. Finally, Jeff Wells making the tackle, the 3-year Letterman senior from Rome, Georgia.
Art, many coaches think that the first drive of the third quarter is one of the most important drives of the ball game. Certainly this one for Wake Forest is very critical, down 27-7.
Topper Clemmings adding to the total yardage. He leads the ACC fullbacks in total yards coming into the ball game, and he gets the carry once again, gets first down yardage. Over the 30-yard line, they'll place it at the 31. 2 plays and already a first down. William Perry and Michael Perry combining for the tackle.
Wake Forest in the first half was able to move the ball by throwing on first down, play action on first down.
They send Owens to the near side, and Brim goes to the far side on a 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. White back to throw. Terrence Mack on the bandit rush, and he throws it out of bounds, intended for Brim.
Here is the play action pass on first down. The disadvantage to Wake Forest is the fact that they're running this into the short side of the field. They're on the right hash mark. Here's the play action pass. He's having to scramble. White, that is, the quarterback, outside his hash, really cuts down the field. He had a chance for a completion there to Brim, just not quite able to hold on to the ball near the sideline.
So it's a 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. White handing off to Ramseur, and Mack got a little bit around the ankles, and then Michael Perry secured the tackle. Looks like Clemson was in the huddle on that play.
It's a misdirection play. Notice the quarterback turning to his left and giving the ball back to his right to Ramseur, but the defense is not fooled. Terrence Mack, the bandit, in on the play. They've got a 3rd and 11 now, Art. Very critical here early in the third quarter. They've got to keep possession of the ball.
Chip Rivers in at fullback. Out of the shotgun. Good blocker, Reeves. Here comes Michael Perry getting rid of the football just in time, but over the outstretched hands of Dwayne Owens. They almost completed that play despite the terrific rush. So that'll bring Newsom into the ball game. He's punted twice for 49.5 yards.
Well, you're right. The 49.5-yard average is because that block punt does not count on his average. Counts as a team punt, but does not hurt his average. Hatcher, on the other hand, has 2 punts for a 57.5-yard average.
Newsom. It's a beauty away as Reggie Pleasant goes back to the 18-yard line, where he actually made the catch and gets a couple of yards. After drifting back further than that, he gets back to the 20. Just into the third quarter. Clemson 27 points on the board to Wake Forest 7. They take over 1st and 10 at the 20. Dale swing at center. Cheatham and Ellis on one side of the line, along with tight end K.D. Dunn. Flowers at fullback. Stacy Driver at tailback. Right up the middle, Kenny Flowers. And Steve Lambert, who's had a lot of hits in this ball game, gets his first one of the second half.
Well, it's also a critical series for the Wake Forest defense, too. For their part, they've got to try to keep the team in the game. They've got to try to keep that Clemson offense on the sideline. So this is a big series for them as well.
Eldridge Milton, linebacker number 87. Flowers is the lone remaining running back. That's Boyer in motion. Epley swings it to Ray Williams. Williams gets an initial block, but good pursuit close to the first down marker at the 30-yard line before Baldinger gets the tackle. Tony Scott helping out from a linebacker spot.
Well, this was a 2 tight end, 1 back offense. There you see Epley faking the pitch to Flagler, throws the quick screen out here to Ray Williams. Looks like for a second there's some running room, but the pursuit from the Wake Forest defense is Gary Baldinger all the way from the right end spot coming out there to make the tackle. 3rd and 1, Art.
Rulak is split to the near side. Stacy Driver once again lost his footing, but I believe he got the first down. Yes, they are marking it over the 30-yard line where Baldinger made the tackle. Driver was a terrific rushing force in the game last year between these two teams, and he's had to work hard for his yardage here today.
Well, Clemson has run the option several times in this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to fake the option and drop back on the pass.
Stacy Driver bounces off one man, gets a gain of about 4.5 yards before Donald Johnson makes the tackle. Kabarsik also in on the stop from the outside linebacker spot. His nickname's the Lunatic. He's actually the bandit position, if you want to compare it to Clemson terminology. So it's a 2nd and 5 from the 36. Driver again has the speed to make the first down and does so by a yard or two before McClemens catches up with him.
What Clemson does so well is threaten the perimeter. That's because they've got great team speed. Here you see Stacy Driver. The play was designed to go off tackle. With the help of his fullback, Kenny Flowers, he was able to bounce it outside, get just enough for the first down.
Driver with a good move on Donald Johnson, the senior from Greenville, North Carolina, to make the corner. And so the 1st and 10 at the 42. Up the middle we go. The fullback backpedaling his way for a 5-6 yard gain. It's Flowers. Baldinger once again called upon to make the stop. From that right end spot, he's had to make a lot of tackles today. Right end had a great spring training.
Well, there's Gary Baldinger, number 67, the defensive right end, making the tackle, but not after Kenny Flowers had good yardage up the middle.
Flowers has been good for 10 yards, and it's a 2nd and 4 now from the 48. Stacy Driver. Penalty flag. Stacy slipped once again. It's about the 4th time that he's had his feet go out from under him.
Third quarter score, North Carolina State 18, South Carolina 10.
Could have a blocking violation here, a holding penalty against Clemson. After a very rapid first half, it seemed rapid anyway with all the action, Kim, it's kind of slowed down here in the 3rd quarter.
Here's the replay. Let's see if we can see the holding. I think it was someone in the interior line.
Like
here you
63.
see, look at the arms there on Steve Reese. He may be grabbing onto the shoulder pads. That could be where it is.
Well, it could have been the other one too, not Cheatham, but somebody else had the arm extended. 3rd and 5 now at the 47-yard line. Epley looks up top. Rulak is covered, but he's got Butler. Butler first down catch at the 44-yard line. Nice move by Epley that time as he caught his secondary receiver.
Well, what Epley does is he allows Butler to uncover. You're going to see Butler go down against a zone defense by Wake Forest, and he's just going to find the open area. Here he is, he's drifting into the middle, and he makes a fine diving catch. Epley gave him the time. He holds the ball, but look at the protection he's got. When you can hold the ball that long, somebody's going to uncover. That's what happened that time.
9:40 3rd quarter. Stacy Driver has the corner and slips again after a gain of 4. And they might move it back to about a 3-yard gain. Richard Butler and Rulak check into the lineup.
Well, here's Sheldon Boyer, the wide receiver. You're going to see him dog his man, dog his man. Notice he made contact on the jersey. That's a legal block from the outside.
And he
helped
kept it
Driver
high.
pick up some yards.
Didn't slide down. 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers at the 41-yard line. Big hit on Flowers after a gain of a couple of yards on the play inside the 40-yard line. Gabizik making the tackle. He doesn't look like a lunatic to me. Wonder who tagged him with that nickname. 27-7, Clemson leading. 8:33 remaining 3rd quarter. Ray Williams to the left. Boyer to the right. Flowers and Driver, the running backs, and that's Stacy Driver, number 21. Cuts in, nice cut back that time, and scoots his way to the 30-yard line. Stacy very effective at cutting back. Joe Walker finally makes the stop, a freshman from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Tigers at the 30-yard line. Rulak and Butler back in at the wideouts. K.D. Dunn, the tight end. And it's that veteran line of Ellis, Cheatham, Swing, Reese, and Engel. With Reese being the only non-senior. Driver to pass. K.D. Dunn, 20-yard line. Sheds the tackle and goes out of bounds at the 17. Driver's 2nd completion and 2 tries this year. The other one for a touchdown. Let's check out the play once again.
Well, Mike Epley, well, here's the play by Driver. What happened was Wake Forest was in a man-to-man defense, and K.D. Dunn just beat his man-to-man.
Burgess finally making the stop after McCummins came in on the play. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line for Clemson. Driver got a good block from Dunn. Speed to the outside against Burgess, and Burgess catches him inside the 5-yard line. Well, that certainly shows the speed and quickness of Burgess. The Driver was able to hit that corner quick, Kim.
Well, you're right. This play's designed to go over left guard. Henry Carter there, the fullback, leading the way, but Driver, like he does so many times, breaks it to his outside. Burgess actually makes up the difference on the angle and is able to save a touchdown.
13 plays for the Tigers on this drive as they started back at their 20-yard line. 1st and 4 for the touchdown. That's quick in motion. An extra blocker. Driver tries up the middle. Fumble on the play. And Wake Forest, the defense comes up with a football. Reggie McCummins, his first fumble recovery of the season.
Well, here you see Stacy Driver going out. Look at the hit there. That's Ronnie Burgess coming in from his outside cornerback position, jarring the ball loose.
With the score, Clemson 27, Wake Forest 7. We'll pause now for word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Berlin, the Perry brothers up front against the offensive line of Wake Forest now on the 2-yard line. They give it to the big guy, the fullback Clemens. Exactly what was expected as the linebackers Milton and Wall get in the act along with Michael Perry, the initial hitter.
You know, we might look for Wake Forest to try some kind of a gamble here, throwing the ball deep in their own territory. They really can't afford to turn the ball back over to Clemson on a punt, which is going to give Clemson the ball around the 30 or 40-yard line of Wake Forest. So down 27-7, it would make sense to maybe try to open it up here to punch the ball out from the hole.
Tough at the 2.5-yard line, though. The tailback, Ramseur. Jeff Wells makes the tackle.
Well, it would have been easier to throw on 2nd and 10. I think now 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9. It's going to be a bit more difficult. Here's the replay. William Perry lined up right over the ball. Look at him use his hands, fending off blockers. Michael Perry, his younger brother, Jeff Wells, are there before William gets there.
His first rushing yardage of the second half for Ramseur. percentage gain. Ramsher tries to spin out of that hole, but he's down at the 10-yard line by Henry Walls. Ronald Watson also coming up to help out from the secondary. Not good enough for the first down. He had to get over the 12-yard line. And so that brings in Newsom to try to punt with the back against the wall.
And, of course, the other factor that I wasn't factoring is the fact that Wake Forest does have an All-American punter. And I guess they're confident that he can get them out of the hole here on this punt.
He's going with the wind after averaging 50.5 on 3 previous punts. A quick punt will give some return time for Pleasant. Penalty flag on the block on the comeback, though, and Pleasant goes down at the 44-yard line. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. .258 on the clock here in the third quarter.
Credit Richard Butler for knowing where those first down chains are, going past the first down, so if he had to come back for the ball, he still had enough for the first down. That's a good play by a veteran receiver.
Made sure on that catch, too. From the 46, Flowers. He gets hit right at the line by Simmons. Simmons coming on here in the second half. He's only a freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, but he's doing a very nice job. Flowers with 13 yards rushing in 6 tries.
Here's Epley. Going to give it to his fullback, Flowers, cutting back across the grain. But there he is, Jimmy Simmons. You said only a freshman.
2nd and 10. Gain of about a half yard on the play at the 46-yard line. Clemson Tigers. Epley on the option. Nice cutback by Epley, who's had one of his better rushing days of the year. Almost to the 45-yard line, where it'll be a 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for a first down.
Well, we mentioned Richard Butler on the play before, made a heads-up play by getting the first down. Here, he's just dogging that number 81. That's Steve Lambert, the inside linebacker, and just that little attention that he gives that linebacker allows the back to get a few extra yards.
Baldinger is down on the play, and we'll pause. Clemson 27, Wake Forest 7 with 1:57 remaining here in the third quarter. On the 3rd and 2, Flowers gets the carry. Actually, it's a 3, a long 2 or 3, and it's timeout to see if he did make the first down. Donald Johnson, the tackle.
Watch the block by K.D. Dunn, the tight end here, blocking down on the corner on the line of scrimmage. He got the thrust.
Actually, pretty good defensive call.
That was necessary.
They're
Well,
double teaming the tight end there, but the linebacker was open.
Let's see, they've got enough for the first down.
Well, a couple of close first downs on this drive to keep it alive with 1:34 remaining. We've had 10 plays in this drive already.
Hey, great seats, huh?
He obviously knew somebody in the athletic
He
department.
missed the tag. He missed the tag.
Charleston goes to the far side. And it's Boyer to the near side now on the 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Epley looks long, and he's going to go for Boyer. Boyer waiting for the ball, obvious. Joe Walker just couldn't wait.
Well, it's too bad because I think the ball would have been incomplete out of bounds. This was the play I've been looking for.
Wait a minute, they're going to bring the ball back anyway. It's going to be the 5 yards?
Well, perhaps not. That
15.
ball was catchable, right? They're going to mark off 15.
Right.
But Clemson has been running the option all afternoon. This time, Epley faked the option, then set up. They were going for broke. I think we've got it on replay. There you see the interference call. Here's Epley. He's going to come down the line of scrimmage, fake the Flowers. Look at this, faking the option, then drops back to set up. The throwback to Boyer down that right sideline. Joe Walker's beat all the way and says, rather than give up the touchdown, I'll take the flag.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Up the middle we go with Steve Griffin. And it's Baldinger back in the game now, making the tackle. pass interference, keeping this drive alive and saving a touchdown. From a Wake Forest standpoint, you see Boyer check in to call the play in the huddle. Charleston and Boyer.
And we saw Epley looking to the sidelines. They're singling the plays to him from the sidelines.
Carter is the fullback. Griffin at tailback out of the eye with 39 seconds remaining before the quarter break. Griffin tripped up by the linebacker first of all and then secured later. Donald Johnson, I should say, the strong safety, and then Tony Scott, the inside linebacker, to make the tackle.
Well, you'll see a fine play by Donald Johnson. He's the strong safety. Henry Carter leading the way for Griffin, but in the backfield, well, that was also Tony Scott in there on the tackle, the inside linebacker, number 53.
So they'll let the clock run out here to end the third quarter of action. A scoreless third quarter. With the score, Clemson 27, Wake Forest 7. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Go, Tigers, fight!
What starts with a K has one eye and loves the color orange. No, not a Clemson Tiger, but you're close. Mr. Knickerbockers, that's who. Because Mr. Knickerbockers is where Clemson Tigers do all their shopping. From head to toe for big tigers and baby tigers for your home, office, or even your car. Mr. Knickerbockers is your everything store for the Clemson Tiger fan. Catch the Clemson excitement this fall at Mr. Knickerbockers. 2 convenient locations, College Avenue, Clemson, and the Haywood Mall in Greenville.
Art Ekman and Kim McQuilkin, 27-7 as we go into the fourth quarter. An observation out of that third quarter, even though there were no scores, Wake Forest had only 7 plays in the third quarter to 26 for Clemson's offense, Kim.
Great ball control by the Clemson offense. They have no points to show for it, but they've done their job because they've kept the Wake offense on the bench.
It's 3rd and 9 at the 27-yard line for the Tigers. Epley goes over the middle to K.D. Dunn, who gets up off his knee to go down to the 10-yard line and into the near the end zone, but they're going to bring it back. Joe Walker was there to make the tackle. It's a first down catch, though, by Dunn.
This is an area of the field when you get down inside the 20, inside the 30-yard line where the tight end becomes a big weapon. This is man-on-man coverage by Reggie McCummings. K.D. Dunn, of course, the big tight end for Clemson, is able to beat him man-to-man, then breaks a couple of tackles downfield.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line now. Griffin still in at tailback. Boyer to the near side and Ray Williams to the far side. Reverse, Ray Williams. He got the block from 58. Touchdown. They'll swing the center. Highest ranked blocker last week, 92%, comes back to throw the block to get him in the end zone.
Well, there you see the I formation. Epley pitches to the wide receiver Ray Williams coming around. You know, the Wake Forest defense actually stayed at home on the backside. I thought they were going to stop the play, but Dale Swing came out and made the great block to spring him. Here you see it again. Here comes Williams around. Wake Forest has a defender out there, number 13, Kenny Grantham.
Great camera work, guys. Hanging on to that play. Igwebuike fires up the extra point try, and it is good. So with 14:20 remaining in this ball game, the score, Clemson 34, Wake Forest 7. And we'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Go, Tigers! Go, Tigers! And the Clemson soccer team will be playing Vanderbilt tomorrow afternoon.
Look at
76 yards, Kim, in 14 plays.
I was going to say, look at the number of plays, 14. That's a great drive.
In 5 minutes and 59 seconds, capped off by Williams' first rushing score, first rush of the year. 17 yards for the touchdown for Ray Williams on the reverse from his wide receiver spot. Igwebuike will have the wind with him. We'll see what he decides to do with it. McGill is deep in the end zone, anticipating a boomer. 34-7, Clemson on top of Wake Forest. Let's take a look at it from field level and see how you'd like to get under that football and catch that spinner. McGill bobbles it in the end zone, and he will not run it out, of course, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Wake Forest. So Wake Forest now puts their offense onto the field for only their 8th play of the second half, and we've got 14:20 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Bobby Morrison at right tackle, Paul Mann still at right guard, Nessup, one of the fine centers in the league, number 74. And White goes back to pass with arms on his legs, throws it incomplete, intended for Matella, Mike Matella.
Well, there you see Steve Berlin rushing the passer. Boy White, after the play-action pass, wanted to go to James Brim, who was running wide open across the middle of the field. But you see the pressure. He had to unload the ball early. No time for the completion.
See number 65 over the ball at center. It's Prutopis, who has moved from a left tackle spot to the center spot. And he will hike the ball into a shotgun formation. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Nice catch and out of bounds, short of the first down, though, at the 28-yard line. Dwayne Owens, number 32, chased out by the bandit Ken Brown.
Well, out of the shotgun formation, here you see it from ground level. White barking out the signals. Clemson came up, played everybody tight man to man. They chose to throw the quick out. Pretty good throw by White, stepping up in the pocket. That ball's right on the money to Dwayne Owens.
His 10th completion in 23 tries for 145 yards in this ball game. 3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line. White's going to throw it. And it's tipped by Eldridge Milton, the linebacker, number 87, who wanted 6 points on that one, Kim.
Well, a good play by Eldridge. Wake Forest had the short yardage offense in the game, but they decided to throw off it. 2 tight ends in the game. There you see the fake by White. He continues to roll out, trying to throw back across the middle, and there's Eldridge Milton getting his hands on it. And you're right, it would have been coast to coast from there, Art.
Newsom comes in to punt. 4 previous tries, averaging 51.5 yards a kick. Reggie Pleasant back at his 34-yard line, waiting now. A wobbly kick by Newsom. Looked like it was touched at the 46-yard line. Clemson, great field position. That's the first time we've seen him in 2 seasons.
Well, he just flat out missed that one.
30-yard punt. That'll bring the average down for you.
And you're wondering if that blocked punt earlier in the game is on his mind. There's really no one near him. This time you see it go right off the side of his foot.
He just didn't get into it.
And it leaves Clemson with the ball at the 50-yard line. See if we've got Anthony Peretti back in the game at quarterback.
There he is, number 17. You called it. And the pitch back goes to Flowers. Correction, Flagler, Terrence Flagler, number 33. Gain of 2 yards on the play. It'll be a 2nd and about 8 yards to go for a 1st down. Malcolm Hairston making the tackle from Bassett, Virginia, a senior, 6'2", 215. Hairston has an appropriate name. He's the team barber. 2nd and 8 at the 48. Peretti back to throw. He's got a perfect day so far for throwing. And everybody's covered, so he decides to go to the 1st down marker and not go out of bounds. What a play by Anthony Peretti as Malcolm Hairston finally catches up with him. That'll give him a plus yardage situation in 7 rushes. He's -2 on the season, so that'll put him over on the plus side and close to a 1st down.
Here you see the replay. He gets a lot of help from Jeff Cruz, number 54, who came back, actually blocked 2 players. And look at Peretti. He says, I'm going to put my head down and go for it.
And it is a 1st down for the Clemson Tigers. Leading at 34-7 with 13 minutes remaining in the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 40. Flagler and Flowers. The backfield. Peretti back. Goes over the middle. He's got Riggs. Riggs, another first down catch. This is one of Riggs's finest days at that tight end spot. Pass catching wise as Hairston makes the tackle.
Well, we mentioned what a great target Riggs is. He's 6'5", 235. Here's Peretti. Nobody near him. And look at him step up and fire that ball. Riggs coming back to the ball nicely. First down, Clemson. Just very, very fine execution that time.
A triad of tacklers for Wake Forest.
Does that mean 3?
But Clemson first down to the 29-yard line. Well, you got to explain everything to quarterbacks, former quarterbacks.
Trying.
Terrence Flagler on the carry, and Tony Scott hit him quick.
Once a quarterback, always a quarterback. Remember that.
A singular effort. Tony Scott.
Look at the splits here by the Clemson line. Tony Scott filling the gap. Good play that time. That was Henry Carter trying to move him out of the hole. But Scott had the leverage, made the play.
Scott's had an impressive game. Ray Williams to the near side. Watch Rulak to the right. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Peretti gives to his fullback up the middle, Carter. And short yardage on the play as they unstack. Looks like Baldinger will be credited with the first hit. Carter's had good opportunities this year for playing time as a redshirt freshman. He's carried 16 times coming into the ball game for 46 yards. But even more important than that, he's really helped the tailbacks average per carry with his blocking. What a catch by Riggs over the center. Penalty flag goes down. Peretti put the ball to his tall tight end, and McCummins came in to hit him low.
Well, Wake Forest came up, played bump and run defense. They blitzed on the play. And really, Wake's lucky they don't give up a touchdown here. Here you see the pass rush. That's number 67, Baldinger. Look at the catch by Riggs.
The ball is just shy of a first down where it was placed after the catch.
The backup quarterback, Anthony Peretti, now 4 of 5 for 76 yards.
And pass interference will give them the first down at the 20.
Well, if it's less than 15 yards, they mark the ball at the spot where the interference took place. That's what they're doing. It's right on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Clemson. Peretti converts the 3rd down.
We've got Richard Butler to the right.
I think he may go for more.
Pitch back, and not much running room for Flagler. Tony Scott once again, the linebacker, filling the hole. Flagler came into the game averaging 5.7 yards per carry, but he's carried 7 times for 21 yards in this ball game. Wake Forest has been keying well on the tailbacks. Stacy Drivers had to work hard for his yardage when he's played at tailback. 2nd down and 10 from the 20.
Wake Forest has everybody up on the line of scrimmage on defense. Here comes the blitz.
Flagler. And the linebacker, Tony Scott, number 53. He's making a career out of this ball game.
Wake Forest had everyone up. They were blitzing. Here's the draw play right up the middle, and Wake Forest actually blitzed into the gaps where the ball carrier was. That was Tony Scott. There's a little bit of extracurricular. I think Tony's letting them know how he feels about the afternoon. He's audibilizing, Art. I think he sees the blitz.
Gets it away quickly to Charleston, Pat Charleston. And that's already the 10th play of this drive. And they started it at the 50-yard line.
Anthony Peretti shows us that he's a veteran as well. Here you see the blitzing Wake Forest linebackers. Peretti read it at the line of scrimmage. He checks off to the out pattern. Clemson picked up the blitz. Completion, good execution, and it's nice to have 2 veteran quarterbacks on your club that are capable of that kind of play.
On the right hash mark, Igwe Buike will be attempting a 27-yard field goal. 8:55 on the clock remaining in the fourth period. He gets it up high. And the kick is good by Igwebuike. 3 more points on the board for Clemson. So with 8:51 remaining to be played in the game, Clemson 37, Wake Forest 7. Minutes eaten off the clock, capped by a 38-yard field goal by Igwebuike. 37-7, Clemson leading. Big difference in plays. Wake Forest here in the second half has had only 10 plays from scrimmage. Clemson 37.
Well, whenever you have 13 play drives, 14 play drives, that last one a 10 play drive, that's just great execution by the Clemson offense. And you know the defense loves it because they're huddled around the water bucket over there on the sidelines. They haven't had to do much this second half.
Igwebuike successful in 14 of 15 field goal tries, 2 of those over 50 yards this year. McGill once again has the frustrating job of just putting the knee down and watching the action unfold in front of him.
Well, what a strong leg Igwebuike has too, because you could actually see him hold back that time, and the ball still traveled almost 2 yards, well, actually 8 yards deep into the end zone.
I want to congratulate you, Kim. Here we are in the 8th game of the season, and you got Igwebuike's name right.
Barely.
No, you. I tell you. Jamie Harris in at quarterback for the first time today. Transfer from the University of Georgia. All-American high school player in the state of Virginia. Gives off to Reeves, Chip Reeves, a freshman fullback. And it's time for experience now.
Well, Jamie Harris, only a sophomore, actually had the lead in the race for the quarterback job early in the season. But Boy White has developed most recently. There's Jamie. He's going to get some time now.
He's hit 16 of 33 tosses this year for 208 yards, 1 touchdown, but had interception problems. 4 picked off against him. And that took him out of the starting lineup. Tries it for Brim and overshoots him as we had a good rush on.
Well, coming into the game in the situation that he's in, one of the things he did very quickly was he used his voice well that time. He had the Clemson defense off balance, but the one thing he didn't do was get set. He really never got his feet planted underneath him, and throwing the out ball to his left, it's really necessary to get the feet planted and get the hips out of the way. He just didn't quite get set that time.
Escrow was on the rush against Jamie Harris, upsetting his timing with 8 minutes 9 seconds on the clock now. 3rd and 7 from the 23, and no running room at all. Clemens, the fullback, tried but just ran into a brick wall. There you see Walker, number 47, getting his helmet tapped, and Newsom will have to come back into the game. His average after that 30-yard shank is down to 45.7 in 5 punts. Wouldn't you love to be a punter and have your average dip that low? 45.7 after a 30-yard kick. That shows how tremendous he was in all the other kicks. Kevin Brady, who's done such a great job on special teams in making tackles, now is back at his 34-yard line to try to catch this one. Dives for the ball and does a pretty good job of it there at the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. Kevin Brady, he's only a freshman from Clarkston, Georgia.
Well, Kevin Brady looks like a wide receiver on this play, diving for a pass.
He's a defensive back in the normal alignment of things.
You see it. Of course, what he's doing there by catching that ball is saving his team some valuable yardage.
Randy Anderson comes into his 2nd game. He played only 1 game prior after having minor knee surgery. He's in the backup quarterback situation after Peretti has done his job as well. Griffin on the carry. Steve Griffin.
I think one of the reasons we see Anthony Peretti enter the game so quickly in the first half with just a 10-0 lead is the fact that Danny Ford would also like to get this young man, Randy Anderson, in the game.
It's got to, with Peretti being a senior and Epley a senior. Anderson, 4 out of 6 through the air for 55 yards. He's going to try his first pass of this ball game and overshoots Henneford, Todd Henneford. Henneford listed as a quarterback, is also as a pass receiver.
Number 16, Todd Henneford.
Well, one of the things you're going to see on this replay is very difficult to do is to come out looking right and throw left on a quick out. That's what Randy Anderson did that time. And I think he's going to have to learn, if you're going to throw that quick out to your left, you've got to come out, open those hips up, and get that ball out in a hurry. Very difficult to look right and then come back left on that pass.
Barnett at tailback as everybody gets a chance. He's a young sophomore. Over the middle. Tight end jibe, and it's complete to Stetschkorn.
Now, what he doesn't have to learn is how to throw the ball well over the middle, because he does a great job on this play. Straight back in the pocket. Look at him. Just stand there tall. Straight up the middle to Riggs. And that's the way it should be done.
Stetschkorn stands 6'5", 220. He's from Kennesaw, Georgia. He's only a freshman. So more experience time now for these young men with 6:26 remaining in the ball game. The stars of the future in this ball game right now. Anderson running for his life, tucks the ball just in time at midfield. It'll come back on a second down now, and about 13 yards to go for a first down as Terrence Ryan makes the tackle, his second of the year.
Here's Anderson back in the pocket. He wants to throw left again. I think he audibled at the line of scrimmage. He thought he saw something in that secondary. What Wake did was they rolled up to the side he wanted to throw this quick out to. That took away the quick out. The young man made the right decision, though, did not throw into a crowd and took the loss.
Henneford is split to the far side. Battling with the football is Barnett. David Barnett, a sophomore from Charleston, South Carolina. He's 6'2" and 210 pounds. Good size for a tailback. Mark Bruce on the tackle. The game in the hip pocket of the Clemson Tigers, 37-7 right now with 5:25 on the clock and rolling. Bruce Bacon at a wide receiver position. We'll try to pick up all the new players while we can.
Well, they've got Eric Nix in there at center. He's the sophomore center, 6'2", 242. He's from nearby Anderson, South Carolina.
Cease at a tackle spot. Watson at a guard.
Illegal procedure now. Randy Anderson's got himself a 3rd and 20.
Henneford to the slot to the far side. Quick is the remaining running back. Westman and Clayton on that offensive front as Anderson goes back to pass over the middle and undershoots his intended receiver, and that was Bacon, Bruce Bacon, number 86.
Oh, we've got another flag down.
Could be a holding call.
Right. Looks like it is going to be holding. Here you see the Twins, the two wide receivers out here to the right. They're just running in patterns, both of them. Ball a little underthrown. Pretty good coverage by the Wake Forest secondary. That's Bruce Bacon, number 86.
Andy Newell, a senior punter from Hemingway, South Carolina. Actually a junior, even though they got senior written on their roster. And the transfer gets a booming punt that will sail with the wind into the end zone. He looked a little nervous on that punt, Ken. Looked like he was anxious to get rid of that ball.
Well, he did the right thing with it.
Well, he'll be the punter next year, probably, as Hatcher's a senior, and he'll graduate hopefully to the pros. With the score, Clemson 37, Wake Forest 7. Let's pause now for word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. From the 30-yard line with the first down, Jamie Harris. That's McGill, and good team tackle work over there. Carlin Box making the tackle. Gets the initial hit. Taking a look at the scoring, Clemson on a 10-yard reception by Rulak. Igwebuike 52-yard field goal, 10-0. Igwebuike again, and then Flagler with an outstanding 14-yard run. Driver took it in from 8 yards out, cutting back. Owens. Then Williams, a 17-yard run, and Igwebuike a 38-yard field goal to bring you up to date. That's McGill, Darrell McGill. We've seen him all day long receiving kickoffs in the end zone. He gets some playing time at the tailback spot this time. Goes for the first down before he's hit by Chuck Sanford.
And Darryl McGill going to look at the line thrust by Wake Forest there. Seems like every one of their linemen had their people downfield. McGill makes a nice cutback, breaks a couple of tackles. He's trying to show the coaches what he can do. He's only a freshman.
3 carries for 24 yards. Lawrence Brunson almost had a tackle on him, but he got through there just in time. Jamie Harris drills the ball. Loose football. Incompleted pass. It's being ruled. James Brim got bounced pretty hard. And it was Carlin Box once again that blasted him.
Well, James Brim is coming across the middle after the play action pass. There you see Jamie Harris. Plenty of time. Really drills this ball right on the money, but look at the hit. Carlin Box, number 7, a sophomore, really stuck Brim.
The official saying he did not have possession of the football, and so it goes as the incompleted pass.
You see that skull and crossbones. That's what the Clemson players are awarded for a big hit.
Clemson 37, Wake Forest 7. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. The fans starting to depart for party time as time's running low. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining in the game. Jamie Harris hits David Chambers with the pass at the 30-yard line, and he's hit there by John Duncan, the cornerback, a junior from Mooresville, North Carolina. Clemson 37-7.
Is that one of the coaches or no? Never mind.
I think it's a great credit, though, to the fans of Clemson. 70,000 here. School is not in session. So fall break. There we've had a terrific crowd. Terrific spirit, Clemson fans. Jamie Harris finally running out of the pocket. He was known as a pretty good runner in high school.
Harris on the keeper.
And catching up with him was, I believe, was Raber.
Well, he's got 34, 34, 33, 32 seconds left, trying to line his team up for a couple of more plays.
John Jansen was over there as a defensive tackle. The handoff goes up the middle.
Chip Reeves on the carry.
That's only part of the family. William and Michael Perry on the sideline resting as Wake Forest trying to put a score on the board with 18 seconds left. Jamie Harris rifles one into the end zone. Touchdown. It was Wes Stauffer.
Nice shot. A real nice shot by Jamie Harris. They're in the shotgun here. Harris is going to take a couple of steps back. He's got Stauffer on a post pattern, man-to-man, just beats his man. And Harris really put some heat on that one.
Good experience for Jamie Harris. And we might add right now that people tuned in late that Foy White, I'll get it out
It's easy
yet,
for you to say,
did a very good job at quarterback. It's just that the Wake Forest offense hasn't had the football very much.
That's right.
Here in the second half. The extra point kick is up and by Illing. It is good. And so Wake Forest now with 14 points in this ball game. There goes the siren. And there goes Danny Ford. Another victory for Danny Ford for the final score. Clemson 37, Wake Forest 14. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Including a 52-yarder, Donald Igwebuike, with 13 points in the game, as today's Brute Player of the Game. Today's your Brute Day. Great days seem to happen more often when you're wearing Brute by Fabergé. After shave, after shower, after anything. Brute by Fabergé. Art Ekman and Kim McQuilkin, and it's a big score, 37-14. The Clemson offense, though, in that second half just dominated the football.
The Clemson offense asserted itself in the second half. The long drives, even though they didn't come up with a lot of points in the second half, they kept Wake Forest off the field, and really it was a team effort by Clemson. Both quarterbacks, really all three quarterbacks, got into the game. All of their receivers, their running backs, they all seemed to contribute. Just a great team victory for Clemson.
Final score, Clemson 37, Wake Forest 14. Thank you for being with us. Art Ekman, on behalf of Kim McQuilkin, also would like to thank Wake Forest Sports Information Director John Justice, and Clemson University Sports Information Director Bob Bradley. We'd also like to thank Mark Packer, our statistician, Ginger Littlejohn, our spotter, our assistant directors Tom Howard and Al Littlejohn. Today's game was directed by Toby Jenkins and produced by Tom Courtney.